As a newspaper, we take the work of sharing information about property matters very seriously with our readers, because no matter what year we purchase our house, it's always a very big investment. And your recommendations and your wisdom will go a long way in helping people decide the homes to buy, the offices to, invest in, the areas where companies all over the world can see growth. So, there is this moniker that the West is the best in Hyderabad. And we'll have a conversation on whether it is really true and whether it will continue to be true. But I'd like to say that between three of them, I think there is 100 years of experience. And so we cannot get a better set of minds to talk about Hyderabad, which is at the cusp of having changed governments and also looking at itself as becoming a really true global city. So let us begin right away, defining the West and what just comes to your mind straight away when you think about West Hyderabad. So, should we start with you, sir?
Yeah. Uh, the property show is organized in West, and as an industry body, we are not supposed to only support the western part or promote the western part. But end of the day, we are like there should be uniform growth across the city. That's where like 360 degrees growth or more of like grid policy when implemented earlier, it helped a lot. So again, going back to how the western part is important and what the way it has to be connected with the customer base and industry and how to make it happen. So they know it's totally depend on the employment opportunities, totally dependent on the IT. Starting from 2004 when the uh, high-tech city started, there's no one imagined the city's growth will be in such a bigger way in the western part or more of companies coming that to IT is growing year to year. Maybe 10 years back, the IT exports were around 57,000 crores and now it's more than 2.5 lakh crores. So there is a tremendous impact it's making across the western part, creating opportunities in the employment. So many people are coming across from the country towards Hyderabad. That's how the real estate has been picked up really well. So there is a potential creator, and being the Banjara Hills, Jubilee Hills, where are the luxury housing things like people used to be like stay there, and again, with the growth happening in the western part, people moved away from the city, and it's different concepts it's developing. And apart from that, this pandemic gave opportunity for rethink in a different way, living in the nature. As recently IGBC organized the property show,
Yes.
sustainability.
Yes.
And now people started thinking in what the better way we can live in, like maybe it's a limited timeline for any humans. But still, how to make it happen. That's how the structure and opportunities are western part are really good when compared to other parts of the city. So West is progressing like anything. Employment opportunity is the best opportunity for that, and that's how it is coming out.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that opening, and I'll have to ask you for a follow up to what he said about the changes that came in with the technology growing, and Cushman has been a big part of bringing in global companies into the city and making it as famous as it is for hosting some of the biggest campuses outside the native country in which the biggest brands are. So, do you see that trajectory continuing uh, from here on?
Yes, West will further grow. So primarily because most of the IT is concentrated in West, and I would say for next 7 to 10 years, there is enough amount of space for IT to further flourish, and residential and other activities, other real estate related activities will continue to grow in West, making IT as a base. And pharma will also
Yes.
further expand,
Yes.
right? So West, I would say, most of the real estate transactions going forward, let's say if we talk about 5 years, 10 years from now, I would say almost 40 to 50% of the real estate transactions, volume-wise, will happen in West Hyderabad. So West will see further growth.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, with all your experience, having worked with 8 chief ministers and seen Hyderabad grow from the literally from the town to the global city, that kind of exposure, what do you have to say about the West? I believe you lived here also some time ago.
Basically, Hyderabad, long ago, West means Banjara Hills. Who is who of the city used to live there.
Yeah.
Thereafter, Jubilee Hills.
Yes.
It's like a Beverly Hills.
Yes.
Jubilee Hills like a Beverly Hills. So the extension of the Jubilee Hills is the high-tech city.
That's how Hyderabadis see it. Yes.
Yeah, this is how the extension of the Jubilee Hills is the mind space and high-tech city, no, the financial district. So most of the IT, is located western part of the thing, and it's like a walk to work. Many integrated residential townships have come in. So wherever the IT, wherever the IT companies are there, the employees used to stay there or
Close by.
work there rather going to other companies located other side of the city or tier 2 cities. Because here they can jump to one company to other, there's opportunity here. So that is the reason it has not grown in spite of government has made so much of efforts
Yes.
to east also,
Yes.
but not grown because the employees' attitude that when we are here
Yes.
in one cluster, the opportunities are more. The atmosphere, the climate, IT climate, IT ecosystem is there. So that is the reason this is growing in western part, and most of the I can say the high-end residential, whether independent houses or multi-storied buildings or large projects. We never imagined the 3,000 apartments in one gated community.
Yes.
It's like a municipality, creating a city within the city.
Which is looking normal now.
A city within the city,
Yes.
like the 2,000 apartment, 1,000 apartments, it's become normal now. So the lifestyle has changed. I can say the modern days now, the new generation, they are preferring that type of lifestyle because every township has about 7-star hotel kind of your clubhouses, all the games, indoor and outdoor games. So the lifestyle is much above international standard. You hardly see this type of living standards globally, unless communities like Beverly Hills. Otherwise, this is the highest standard. We are concentrating on every component, whether the landscaping part of it, or what I told you, the amenities, facilities, specifications, everything, all aspects. The lifestyle has changed, and maybe when you talk about a green master plan, it may not be a green master plan, because when you grow uniformly all sides of the city, uniformly,
Yes.
then it's a green master plan. So otherwise, one corner of the city, suppose east or north, they are all along traveling to the west.
That's true.
So it's not a green master plan. So people have to spend that huge
A lot of time and
in-
effort.
in transit. So that is only one thing lacking. If at all the government can give more and more incentives to the east and north and bring more and more IT, and maybe existing industrialists converting into the IT and residential, there are certain incentives are there, but we have to liberalize more. When you liberalize more, give multi-use land use to them, and give the what you call the down payment, whatever is the conversion, they have to give some installment, something like that, to encourage to convert the polluting industries in the north and east side. There is so much of land is available
Yes.
within the city, which is occupied by the industries which have started 40 years back, 30 years back. So they are willing to go outside because the land values have gone up. So the best, anyway, we don't want to disturb. When it's growing, let it grow.
Yes.
Let it support also. Let it support in a big way, because that is an opportunity, a ready-made opportunity. The other side is we have to put some more efforts. People like Srikanth, they have to put a lot of effort to convince the client also to go other end. And another beauty is again in north and east also well connected with the ORR and IR in a ring road. The beauty of the city. I hope the earlier governments also tried their level best, and the government has to go and liberalize more. give a lot of priorities, some incentives also to the industrialists. So instead of, see why is the tier 2 is not developing? So much of change is there. If you see last 2 decades and now tier 2 have grown like anything.
Just talking about
It's
places like
Hyderabad.
Warangal.
Tier 2 cities also, all 10 headquarters, you have healthcare facilities, highest healthcare facilities, education, mall, multiplexes, any brand is available there. But why people are not going is all the facilities are available in Hyderabad and the cost of living is too low. If you just go half an hour, 45 minutes, you can have a village at cost of living. If you don't come towards the center of the city, if you go outside the city, like Argano is developing a good lifestyle, the independent houses, like a village. So you go other direction, the land is available, plenty of land is available, you can have almost the village cost of living.
Yeah, in the CBD, the cost of living has increased dramatically. But yes, as you go out towards the suburbs, absolutely. So what he was saying, is it easy to pitch Hyderabad to the global clients that you meet often? And is there anything that you wish the government do for the city to continue the robust pace at which it has grown? Shrikant.
Yes, Hyderabad have the entire ecosystem which is required for the global firms to come to Hyderabad. One, talent availability. Yes, we have plenty of talent availability. Certain segments, in fact, many new firms which are coming for the first time to India, they're choosing Hyderabad because they find Hyderabad talent much more available. Number one. Number two, they are comparatively to other cities, they are cheaper, right? And our cost of living in Hyderabad compared to other cities today, if we have to compete with let's say a BFI, any farm which is coming to Hyderabad, to India for the first time, they generally compete to do analysis between Bangalore, Hyderabad and Pune, right? Hyderabad started scoring high and we see a flood of new BFSI companies to Hyderabad. Likewise, a flood of new farmer-related companies to come to Hyderabad. Many consulting coming to Hyderabad.
So beyond IT, a lot is happening.
Beyond IT, multiple things are happening. A lot of momentum is happening. New firms are choosing Hyderabad. In fact, I would say in last 1 quarter, there are 10 odd new firms where the names we've never heard in India. They have chosen Hyderabad. They are right now in the process of signing real estate to setting up. There are thousands of jobs are going to come up. So it's a positive momentum. From government perspective, yeah. So we have seen all governments have been supportive to develop this IT industry, social infrastructure as such. What we need from government is creating that positive momentum, right, which helps the real estate, other sectors to grow up. From IT perspective, we're all doing very well.
Yes, interesting. Sir, what is your input on what the government can do to, because you have your ears very close to all the builders here. What would they need from the government to help, position themselves as they would like to? And what advice would you give the government for the next 10 years on how to continue the progress?
Yeah. The process, it's a continuous from the government, any government who comes. So there should be change in the thought process mostly. Yeah, there should be a change in thought process time to time, depending on the requirement. So earlier, when there was totally dependent on IT, the focus would have been on the western part. Now investments have come almost we heard. That's what always what happens is the market or a growth depends on speculation or how we promote the opportunities and all that. Then 3 lakh crores investments have come. So on that note, now the government has to focus more on how to make it happen, how the industries has to come. Now you can see, always we are ahead of Bangalore, we say. But still not much I can say. Bangalore is 10 years ahead of us. But when a growth-wise, we reach them, we surpass them in some particular areas, in particular some performance, in short time. That way, Hyderabad is really good when compared to Bangalore. But still, we are lacking in the other sectors, mostly with the manufacturing. Chennai is really doing good. Bangalore is really doing good. Now the government has to think. It's a long-term one. Not the IT, which is maybe, it depends. If suddenly the market slows down, we can't say. how the opportunities will be there for the employment and all that. Now manufacturing industries, what happens, it creates employment from semi-skilled, unskilled to the like technical expertise and all that, and that will be a long term. So once a company is established, it will be there for years together. So this is where we need the government to focus on that. And apart from that, no, real estate totally depends on the opportunities created, as we said, about the employment, and rather than that, better infrastructure. When the government is focusing more on ORR, it's like fully completed, that's the best part which has been happened for the public in Hyderabad. Anywhere of the city we can reach in 30 minutes or 40 minutes max. And the regional ring road. So here the government, new government has to start thinking how to make it happen, utilize this abundant land which is available between ORR and Triple R. So government is thinking of some township policies. Before making it the unregulated, unorganized growth, government can come out with some policies on townships. They can announce depending on the requirement. Now you can see, so with this particular area, we treat as northwestern part, not the western exactly, northwestern part. Now this has the potential of medical device park and Isnapur industrial area. So depending again, no, better educational institutions are there. Now the government has to think in this particular area, what the way we can make it happen, either a township or this area or moving little bit away towards Medchal area. Some proposal, what happens is they can connect really well. See, many of the people are moving from the other part of the city to a western part for employment. So this has to be addressed. Any area, Miapur to high-tech city is nearby, but a person living in Uppal is all the way going to western part. This government has to address. And for that, no, not immediately things may happen, but transportation systems have to improve. We are totally dependent on metro rail. Instead of that, no, once this regional ring road is coming up, government can start thinking about MMTS, connecting all the districts. Even though earlier we used to see the people traveling all the way from Warangal. Shekhar Reddy garu is from Warangal and I am from Karimnagar. So we used to see the people traveling for early hours and coming to Hyderabad, working here and going back. So this kind of system, why a people near residing somewhere 1 hour away from Hyderabad can stay there in their native places, can have a transport system where they can reach the destination in 1 hour, they can work and go back home, and live a life within inner nature, like maybe rural life, how it will be like. This kind of things, then only the affordability will be there. Everyone has to, doesn't need to come to Hyderabad and buy a house. Wherever the land is available, wherever the abundant land is available, that makes the housing affordable. So this is where the government has to start thinking in a different way, more of creating opportunities in housing, and that definitely there is an opportunity for us where it can improve the national GDP, and maybe it can fulfill the dream of owning a house for all also.
Yes, thank you for that. Shekhar garu, see, you have seen Hyderabad over decades now, and if you see the last 10 years reports of real estate, you said, like we discussed, the city is growing all around. Government has helped, CREDAI and other associations have played a big role. But if you see consistently, Hyderabad has had a very high level of vacancies. That's one thing that, kind of is questioned a lot. Secondly, there is this whole talk about unlimited FSI and a lot of permissions being given across the city. So we have more than 200 superstructure towers coming up. People who plan cities question whether the municipalities can manage this level of concentration of new buildings. But I'm sure the city is thought out, it's planned. So if you could give me some insights into these 2-3 areas. One is the vacancy levels, one is the unbridled growth all around. And how should a home buyer look at this? Should they look at it as a rare opportunity to buy something really good? or should they look at it in a different way?
Basically, Hyderabad for the last few decades is a end user driven market, not a speculative market. That is fundamentally our strength. Many times for the last more than 2 decades, many rumors have come in. The market is going to fall, this thing, many occasions. But they are proven to be wrong because there was no speculation market. You know, speculative market will be definitely for any rumors, like a pack of cards, it will fall. But if the foundations are strong, I think market it will absorb any type of negative criticism. It will absorb, and people are ready to be willing to buy. The end users, not the some mediator is buying bulk of flats and retaining, or somebody is holding for speculation. It never happened. Some of the cities in India has that type of habits, but Hyderabad, the strength is the end user market. And see here, it's slightly now changed the operation of the players, the developers. From the culture when the apartment started in Hyderabad, it's all is startups. Everybody is startup, not like Rahejos or no DLF in Hyderabad. And that market has given a lot of, what you call, and these guys never had access to the funding. So they used to raise funds from the relatives and friends, and with that money they used to construct because their balance sheet was not that great. Because always bankers look for the strong balance sheet. So these guys were very competitive. They were all developers who are grown today. Most of them are grown from startup. So they have done really hard work. And even the quality of construction was good, if you see last few decades. And the delivery, even north side you can see many people have failed to deliver. No, if I have their 10% asset with them, they have sold 100%. Land or plotting. That never happened in Hyderabad. Especially southern region, southern India is very cautious, and particularly Hyderabad never happened. Even there was no RERA also. It never happened, the failure of the developer. Maybe sometimes it's 3 months, 6 months delay might have happened. So that is another strength of the Hyderabad developers. Now over a period of time, the developers, some of them have become grown bigger, and at the same time, the industrialists who are in other sectors seen an opportunity in this field. They have jumped into this sector. So they are also become big, large developers. They can also compete with the pan-India developers or international developers. So the market is going slow and steady, and sometimes wherever is required or they want to take a risk, they are taking also. And many cities, global cities are within the country, the many governments are struggling hard to develop their real estate sector in their cities. But unfortunately, it is not happening. But Hyderabad, it is happening. Nobody can stop the growth of Hyderabad. That is the strong fundamentals of the Hyderabad city for the last few decades. And we also come out as the industry participation. We have to come out of the box building rules in 2006 that also changed the game. That also has an inbuilt RERA. That also self-enforcement in the bylaws. And it has created to decongest the core city and expand the periphery of the city. There, 12 municipality used to be alternate 5%, 10% development, 90% development used to be in MCH area. But this particular one policy has changed entire game. And with that, the competitors, global competitors or pan-India developers have come in, the investments have come in, and the clear title exists from 2006. Earlier, occupancy certificate was rare, but this self-enforcement policy has become mandatory Without that, you will lose your license, your 10% built-up space. That has made entire our Hyderabad industry into organized sector. That is how the international market has accepted our product. Before that, it is very difficult to accept to come to Hyderabad and take a lease premises also, because if it is not in order, they never used to take it. And this 2006 onwards, the lowest cost real estate per buying or lease, it was available in Hyderabad, and world-class infrastructure. So that is how the investors have come in, and they have started constructing 10 floors, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 floors. This shows the strongest fundamentals of Hyderabad, and the technology demonstration of the developers. Latest technology they brought in, speed construction by using shear walls, by one construction, and also global players have come in, and this has to be seen in a positive perception. When I went to Shanghai 1.5 decades back, during the night in a multi-story building, they have switched on the lights. So I asked them why they have switched on the light when the office is not there. They said, we want to showcase this, our multi-story building, to the rest of the world. We are capable of constructing such buildings. We have the technology, and we have the potential here to buy such property and also occupy such property. The same demonstration is happened here. Is a reality in Hyderabad. In the tallest buildings category, we are second in all India level. Small segment of the city cannot become an example for the comprehensively. If you see the Hyderabad western part, eastern part, northern part, southern part, only I don't isolate western part. I already made my first statement, the Beverly Hills. This area is a Beverly Hills. And who is rich and famous and leave this area, and high potential guys. See, other sectors, defense and aerospace is not in the western side, but it's growing. Phenomenally, it is growing. Pharma is growing. Other sectors as well growing. So now Hyderabad is not only dependent on the IT sector. We are equally strong in other about 10, 12 verticals. They are very well supporting the state government and government of India because of the policies, government policies. And when we are growing in such a manner, we are demonstrating globally the strength of the local developers, and the government has provided infrastructure and everything to meet that demand. But it should not be seen that since you are constructing, when the infrastructure is not sufficient to meet that high-rise building, tall building, don't construct. No, it is not that. See, we should meet the what you call last mile connectivity has to be improved. The Honorable Chief Minister, even Minister Uttam Kumar also said, nook and corner we are going to reach by metro or MMTS or last mile connectivity. If that happens, people are very happy. Public transportation has to improve, like Switzerland, other countries. That will definitely motivate our developers to become the real estate destination or business destination, and the first in the country for the tall buildings, probably coming decade, probably globally first in the tall buildings, and sustain. We are also aiming, IGBC is also aiming, Hyderabad, we want to be most sustainable city globally, so that more and more investment come to Hyderabad. And and another fortunate thing for Hyderabad is, next 50 years, we have land on ORR. And if you see RRR, that takes care of 70% of the state. RRR also will definitely change the entire the development, the activity of the area of the state. And see, Sri City has come where there is no infrastructure. Sri cities can come on RRR. Many people, many countries can come and establish their own industrial estate. So that type of opportunity is there, provided the state government earmarks the land use. We should not allow unplanned activity in the RRR. So we should earmark, these are the industrial zones abutting See, there are, fortunately, on Triple R also, we have major townships existing now. 7, 8 townships are existing. So already infrastructure is there. So nearby the townships, if we can earmark 20,000, 10,000 acres land exclusively for the industrial development, I think the Hyderabad will definitely attract more and more global investment. People will look at this. And at the same time, even today, Hyderabad, if you take the average price, not higher side. See, whichever zone people are willing to pay, developer are constructing. Whichever area people are not willing the higher price, our developers are meeting their pocket. Whatever the loan eligibility is there, paying capacity is there. There are many developers, they construct only to suit the local people. See, that is the beauty of Hyderabad, the structure. If you are 45 minutes away, you can, same price you are getting in tier 2 cities. Tier 2 cities, whatever price you are getting, same price in Hyderabad after 45 minutes or 1 hour journey. That the beauty of this ORR also. If we go ORR 160 kilometers. So 80 kilometers, midway is 80 kilometers. 1 hour, 60, 70 minutes. You can reach anywhere. And if you are middle of it, you are 30 minutes journey only. So the radial roads, 17 radial roads are well established and they are going to touch the Triple R also. Definitely, I am more positive. The future for Hyderabad is unlimited. The lot of scope is there for any developers to come in, compete. We want more competition, healthy competition. You know, already we have good numbers, but still we welcome any new technology where we can reduce the cost. At the same time, Government of India and state government also look into the taxation. And affordable housing should not cost more than a single digit overall taxation. I think government has to think on that. So other luxury components, so okay, government still rationalize, but affordable section, even government may provide some land, lease land, some land for the affordable segment on the ORR. That will give a lot of, earlier government used to have a housing board. So that concept we should privatize. You know, I think the people will remember the government. That will be a great help to them. Thank you.
With all the experience Kushman has around the world, if you listen to what Shekhar is saying, you said 10 years, you said 1 decade, Hyderabad will definitely grow consistently. If the government does what Shekhar is saying, it will grow for 3-4 decades consistently. But tell me, around the world, with Kushman's experience, should people be concerned about which government is running the city? Because governments can change. So should their investments have any earmark? Should they be concerned about that? Or is Hyderabad beyond governments now?
I don't think so, Deepal. So, let's say if you might have seen Hyderabad, Shekhar sir has been working with 8 chief ministers before, right? Policies were consistent. What is important is industry bodies like Reddy, like CII and other industries bodies have to advise government
Yes.
what is actually required for us to do from what is required for us 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line,
Yes.
right? What kind of infrastructure is required? What should be our policy, let's say on unlimited FSI? What should be our policy on high-rise buildings? What should be our policy on, let's say, infrastructure related, common infrastructure related to colonies development?
Yes.
Right? Today, what's happening? Everybody is building their own buildings, and they are doing their own DGs, they are doing their own STPs. Why can't we do common for a specific road?
Yes.
Right? 10 different projects can have that common infrastructure rate. Cost is multiplying. So we need policies related to that, right? So it's very, very important industries, bodies sit through, advise government in writing. These are our recommendations. Let's think through, right? Those are important, right? Governments comes and goes, but industry bodies suggesting them right things are very most important. And next governments taking them forward is important.
Yes, so our revenue from real estate has increased dramatically. It's like incomparable actually. So we also heard the chief minister say he's going to increase the land value, the government land value. What impact will it have on the prices, on the, general demand for, say, maybe 50, 60 kilometers away from the city, the land?
Delicate question, but we have to answer. The thing is like not much difference it is going to make on us, but still no, it's some kind creates some kind of confusion to the customer.
Yes, it's created some
Yeah, it's
confusion.
always no. What happens is recently 2 years back, other government has changed. So it was a little bit of more of 50%, 25% in registration, 20, around 25% in land values and all that. No, it impacted a common man. So this is where any new government has to think. First, they have to start creating some kind of positivity towards the industry. So that is the expectation what the industry body we have. Later on, no, they can have the proper study across the city, not on one area or whatever it is, but they can take the feedback of other industry bodies and maybe they can have the proper research and maybe they can work on that, what exactly the difference it's making. And there is a difference between card value and market value in some places
Yes.
where the builders themselves are going on the higher side. So that kind of things, it has to be assessed, but this is not the right time what we feel. And moving forward, what happens is small announcements make the bigger difference with a common man. Every time, no, always we feel more of housing. A common man always is a property show is there. He should feel like I have to go. I have to fulfill my dream. This opportunity, this kind of things, no, for the people of Telangana, the government has to start thinking in what the way we can incentivize the people, in what the way we can make them buy a dream home, make how we can fulfill the dream of housing, owning a house in a better affordable price and all that.
Yes.
No, that is where it has to be. End of the day, if transactions are less, even though their price is increased, the revenue will be less. And but if more turnover is there, automatically the revenue will be more.
Yes.
This is where the government has to think. And apart from that, no, when compare, just now we are discussing with Shekhar Reddy, the revenue which generated when compared to combined Telangana AP at the time is much, much higher now. So not much difference is making, but end of the day, this is the election time, almost 6 months has gone. So much more is going to happen. And one more thing is always we want to be across the public and media, I want to convey. Any change won't happen in a span of 5 to 6 months. So any government, whatever the impact is on the positive or negative, it will start reflecting after 2 years. So any public can just start thinking the momentum is still on. So for that, we have to go on with the things and government still make it happen in what the way we can support. And this kind of announcements, a little bit cautious they have to be, which is impacting a common man, not the industry, we can say.
Thank you. I think all of you gave us tremendous insights. Does anybody in the audience have a question for the panel? We can, host your question. Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Rav Prakash and I'm also into real estate. I stay here in Mayapur. Rajshekhar Reddy sir said one thing, we are far below than Bangalore, 10 years below than Bangalore. But now I was stuck up there because the hell of Bangalore roads we know is Hyderabad is moving towards that direction. Yeah, I'm not asking this in a negative perspective. And this road I watch lot of high-rise towers. Is the density of the population matching with the level of infrastructure here? That doubt I already had. And at this expensive prices, may not be expensive, but at this level of prices and with this level of infrastructure, I mean outside the infrastructure, outside the project infrastructure, does that match? If this doesn't match, it may lead to what is happening in Bangalore.
No. Infrastructure across the globe is an issue, not only in Hyderabad. And most of the developed countries, the cities, towns, by default, they become smart. Because whatever the master plan is there, as per that, they develop infrastructure, then allow the development. But in India and the Asian countries, since we have no money, we are not that rich, we just notify the master plan without doing the infrastructure, we will allow the development. So that is the reason after Government of India struggling last 10 years to make the smart city, they could not list out, they could not showcase they could not define what exactly is smart city, because any number of retrofittings. Even you pay 4 times more than the original investment, but it will not become smart city. So we have enough of global experience and Indian experience, Asian experience. Government should realize this fact and try to raise money from different form, bonds or anything. And whenever you are notifying any master plan, please develop that infrastructure. Then now today you are getting X money from the developer for permit. You charge 1.5x. People are willing to pay for that type of infrastructure. But we are not doing that. We have to realize the government of India, state government, urban development authorities, local body has to realize this and implement the infrastructure first, then allow the development later, then these issues will not happen. See, we have to rectify this.
Yeah, but Shrikant, I have to say that when we designed the ORR, which is many years ago, that was the whole point, that we want to create very good infrastructure first, but we are not able to manage density. That is really the problem. And we are giving permissions like, you have one super tower next to another with hardly any space in the middle, and it's going on for hundreds of towers. I think that the density also has to be managed along with the infrastructure.
That particular building in that locality is a issue. But entire locality is not high rise. There is a medium rise, there is a low rise, there are open lung spaces. So if you calculate overall density, and in fact, what I feel is now, I go further, CM Garu government has good vision, dream about Musi River. Abutting either side of the Musi River, let government allow 4 to 6 100-story buildings, iconic buildings. We want to see. That is the capability of Hyderabad developers. We want to demonstrate. The Hyderabad developer can execute that project and there are clients to occupy. We need that type of vision. See, we should not show 1 or 2 buildings and because there is no infrastructure, we should not construct. That is maybe when the technology is not available, when the options are not available, mode of transports are not available, yes, that is the issue. Today, everything is available, even funding is available. If you have a will, there is a way. Funding is available. Other countries are implementing, like last mile connectivity, and connect the buildings. From 4th floor or 10th floor, you connect the buildings. 4th floor, you can go and see that Las Vegas, they have connected all the buildings.
Shrikant
Why
is
don't you do
laughing.
that? No, as a good example,
Yes.
Metro Mindspace is the
Yes.
best example. Mindspace is one of the best examples. They are connected to the metro. Smooth, without any issue. They are going they're from metro to their office. So such facility should come everywhere. And this impact fee, what we are paying for the multi-story buildings is thousands of crores, which is a huge money. In absence of impact fee, corporation should not, if you cannot execute this infrastructure, every square foot is paying towards the corporation for the development of infrastructure.
Rajshekhar, what do you have to say about this whole conundrum about the infrastructure, the density, the traffic, the municipality's ability to support?
Really, this is where the government has to start thinking. This is the right time. When the new government, CM Garu has announced a master plan 2050 with a vision of coming years and all that. Now, it's like with the high-rise buildings, what kind of density it's creating. On the western part particularly, we have to see. Then they have to focus more on the infrastructure much in advance, not thinking at the later stage when the occupancy has been going to come. And we are in a junction, Miapur. So a lot of activity on the Vachpelli road and other towards Atancheru, and many people will be in the core of Kukatpilli. So this particular junction is also, we get the feedback from our builders across, so it's still not addressed. When everyone from this part goes to high-tech city, how they will address this? This is where infrastructure is a basic need, and before giving the permission, they know the government has to start thinking like inline, when particular area is having so many constructions coming up, and what is the need it has to be, like what the way they have to address. So they have to start with a lot of impact with they are collecting. Our permission fee is also much higher when compared to other states and all that. So some amount specifically up to 50% at least, they have to start spending on our infrastructure which is needed for our industry. So different more areas are there, and time to time they have to address.
We really hope that, the CREDAI which you are
We will
heading.
try to bring it up all the time.
The CII and the IGBC, which you now head nationally as Vice President, and Kushman's fundamental thrust on the commercial side, which is, really invited some of the biggest names in the world to the city. Uh, all of you play a very crucial role. And
Dipal,
you are,
I have a question.
you have a question too? Okay. So I was going to say that please continue playing that role. And yes, I was going to come back to the audience and ask if there are any more questions. So Preeti, please do.
Thank you. I think Shekhar Reddy sir, that was a very good point where you said that as a Hyderabad city, we demonstrated ourselves very well. I think you have given us a sales pitch, for ourselves. I being a salesperson, I think we always get this question that, is this growth after COVID, but if I am not wrong, what I heard correctly from you is from 2006 onwards, the city has been slowly being demonstrated so well. It doesn't happen overnight. COVID has not done that entire turnover. Let's not give the entire credit to COVID. It takes years to build up one, something which has been projected. And I think somebody like Cushman's or even JLLs have given good story, have projected cities so well. But my thing is, this is a very common question, but always, this is always discussed when we meet our developers, is there is a lot of unevenness between supply and the demand. And as when you said, if buyer is paying, say 7,000 per square feet, if you are asking them to pay additional 100 and build for the infrastructure, I don't think they will be willing. I mean, in my opinion, because infrastructure for we are already paying taxes. Okay, the government should support us. It's finally about a city growing. It is not about one building and in a road being constructed in front of that thing. And how do we tackle this thing? Like actually. Realtor friend actually mentioned that we should not be facing a situation like Bangalore, where in few years we are going to see a lot of crowd on the we are not able to travel. How much even our city has grown very well. There are so many metros, many more to come. But can we handle that kind of traffic? This place itself, I took 45 minutes from High Tech City to here yesterday evening to come. I dated to take out my car. I booked a cab to come here. I could not think of, driving my own car. So, how do we handle this supply versus thing?
It's a very good question. Over and above 5 floors, if any project is there in Hyderabad, we have an impact fee, the concept called impact fee. Regular, apart from impact fee, whatever we are paying charges, all other cities are collecting. But other cities are not collecting impact fee. So this impact fee is very huge. When you go on, this is a telescopic method. When you go up and up, the impact fee increases. And the impact fee is only meant for infrastructure. As per the GO 86, it was supposed to be kept in escrow account. And 50% they are supposed to invest near the project. But this amount is going and they are using subsidized somewhere, some other colony, somewhere. If that amount is spent in wherever the project is coming, then that issue will not come. My infrastructure is not good. See, we raised many times this issue. Again we will take it up with the state government also. So they are not doing justice, I can say. 50%, some developers are paying 100-200 crores impact fee for one project. So that 50% has to spend to improve the infrastructure, surrounding the project. But they are not doing that. This is additional tax, apart from your permit fee, external development, internal development, your NALA charges, so many land use charges, many charges you are paying. But this impact fee alone, they are supposed to spend 50% for the project, and rest of the 50% you can spend anywhere for the flyovers and everything. So that they are not doing.
Like even this particular area, Miapur, or take it as Kolor, not many new projects are coming up. So high-rise buildings, permission fee is also high, impact fee is also high, but still nothing gets started over there. This is where in the future, no, that's what I was saying. We have to be like a little bit cautious and maybe with the support of media, and we directly never, we have to be like straight enough with the government too.
No, I think we should be very cautious of our approval process, policies, right? How our city is going to shape up, right? Town planning is going to be very critical, right? Otherwise, probably we are 5 years away from getting where Bangalore is today, right? Maybe we can talk any nice good things, high-rise buildings, nice stuff. We can see New York-style buildings, but trust me, we can't go to our office not even in 2 hours' time. The way how Hyderabad is, Bangalore is 2.5, 3 FSI. Hyderabad, the new buildings what we are building is 7, 8 FSI. We will have double the problem of Bangalore. As simple as that. We can't deny this fact. So we have to work around that. We have to work around policies. If we still want to do high-rise buildings without building roads, it's not going to work.
We
Shekhar
have
wants the
paper
last
news,
word.
paper-
I hope there are no more
One
questions.
question.
Okay.
Paper news is 14,000 crores as a stamp duty. So that is equivalent to 7.5%. So we pay almost, or any citizen who are buying a flat or a commercial space, is 1/3 goes to the taxation. About 33%, 30%, 33%, Government of India, state government, other department, local body, UDS. So that means in the state, our contribution for only real estate sector is almost more than multiplied by 4. This is 7.5%, where is 33%? 4. So almost 4 and almost 52,000 crores is coming only from one sector. It's a huge money in the budget. So, and I wish the state should make, instead of 14,000, they should make 30,000 also. Stamp duty, is most welcome. We are working for the state government. We are working for the employment. We are working the prosperity of the state government. At the same time, see that affordability is there for the common man. Our only worry, our request to the state government is do it scientifically. If it is required, reduce the registration charges for affordable housing. Make it 4%, 3%, affordable segment. So GST for affordable housing is 1%, whereas others are 5%. So like that, so if we can reduce where the affordability is not there, housing board is not catering to the required people, I think state government should come out. See, first meeting with the Honorable Minister when this government came is in, sir, you have given guarantees to the people. Similarly, you give some guarantees to the housing sector. This is what I requested. Some guarantees we need. At the same time, let state flourish. See, the people should have their own shelter. And government should get money. Whoever is rich, people will pay. But common man, middle class, lower middle class, should have a lower limit of registration charges. We are not against the revision of the land prices. Wherever scientifically done, we have no issue. 6%, last 2 years back, they have, instead of making it 4.5%, they have made it 7.5%. So what is the impact, we calculated with the then Chief Secretary, we arrived by raising the land value and built up value for registration purpose, 25% is gone up. 6% registration charges to 7.5%, 25%. So overall 50% they have increased the burden on the common man, 50%. Now again, if you are increasing within the 2.5 years, that may not give more, the affordability point of view, it will go. And even the global investors also, as long as we are competitive, those people will invest. We also look into that angle also, not because of the, to just raise the revenue.
Yes.
We increase the turnover. See, when income tax was 99%, what is the tax? Today the income tax levels have come down. Where is our tax? The tax, you liberalize the tax, rationalize the tax, minimize the tax,
Yes.
increase more and more housing. See, earlier 18,000 houses we used to sell. Today we are selling more than 30,000. Make it 60,000.
Yeah.
Make it 60,000 houses so that other industries also will survive, other ancillary industries will survive. Your employment will go up by double. So that is how we have to come in an innovative way, out of the box way. That's the need, that is the requirement of housing, huge requirement.
Yes.
Thank you.
You wanted to ask. I think that will be the last question.
Yeah.
You also want to, okay, we take these two and stop. Please, you can ask and you can ask. We'll ask together, please.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Joshua Matikia, and I'm from west part of Hyderabad. So my question to you, sir, Rashekar Reddy sir garu. So it's so happy and great that you are supporting and welcoming and encouraging from CREDAI perspective as a president. So a lot of CREDAI events have been, property shows has been organized recently in Hightex, and you are supporting a lot of developers and builders. So what is the vision, sir, that we want to know about the CREDAI for the next 5 years from now? As you said, any change is not possible within 5 to 6 months. So what is the vision for the next 5 years with the new government of CREDAI, sir? Yeah, thank you.
A lot of visions. Even the government has 30 years vision. We have at least 5 years vision or 10 years. See, we want from CREDAI, even though mostly people always doesn't know what exactly which happens back doors. Like pandemic time, CREDAI and the entire builder community contributed a lot to the society, but never said to the openly like what we have done. But we took care. So that's where the positiveness created. And we are always with the government, whoever it is, whatever the party it is. We made them like understand the situations, what exactly the industry needs. So accordingly, they have to take the policy matters. Every time, no time to time, we are fortunate enough, they responded well. And apart from that, no, future totally depends on making the housing affordable. For that part, CREDAI is more inclined in working with the government, giving some proposals in what the way the land availability can be opened up with a good pricing. There no more members can like explore the opportunities. So that is one part. And apart from that, no, we have the one more dream of fulfilling the employment in particularly Telangana. It's a skilling for the people. We have the labor shortage, we have the technical people shortage. So we started the initiative, but still we have to take it in a bigger way. So that Shekhar Reddy Garu was telling government is coming up with a skill university. Even though we as an industry body still need almost many are coming from other states. Even the opportunities are there with us. The issue is like lack of skill, and for that we want to get them trained. We want them to get exposed what the real need of the industry. And apart from that, technical people, civil engineering or MBA graduates or whoever it is, maybe sales team, whoever it is, they are not industry ready when they are coming out from the colleges. For that also, in what the way the industry can involve with the hand in hand with the government or the educational institutions, that also we are working on. And this is where end of the day, 5 years coming, we want to see Hyderabad as a global city. Why? Because Hyderabad builders can fulfill that dream. Just imagine 2014, any builder was little bit of highly, maximum they have constructed around 10-storied buildings, very limited. Now sky is the limit for the Hyderabad builders. We can make it happen. Even in the future, we can make the city as a global city in partnering with the government and all the stakeholders. That's the vision of us.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, so my question is with respect to senior housing. See, there is this particular area which is now going to be a huge, I know there is a demographic shift, and that's why this particular area is going to take a huge impact. So what is I have seen governments from Maharashtra and all that having specific policies with respect to senior housing. So is there any thought process in those lines for Telangana as well?
Policy not yet come. Not yet policy has come, but somehow our members started exploring that opportunity. That really successful. And this is where this is also one point we have to take up with the government also. Some kind of incentivize, like maybe as a general public they can't buy, even though some benefit has to be transferred. That policy, it's a good thing, and we will make a note of that and try to approach the government. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Like senior citizens have some of the incentives, income tax incentive, railways, or there's some incentives. I think these people also should have some type of maybe the home loan rate of interest should be low. Maybe they are eligible to buy, with their pension and other things. That reverse mortgage system is also there. That also can be implemented. I think such a scheme should come. Another thing is what my suggestion to the state government. See, there are so many builders in city. Some of them are flourishing because their policies, their vision, how strong their marketing. There is a huge potential for Hyderabad to grow. I think recent CIA Night Frank decade growth report is there. They are saying Hyderabad is the fourth fastest growing city, you know, at 8.7 year on year. I think if you have good policies, good incentives, and if the government come out with ease of doing business, suppose any project which comes to the notice of the government, instead of taking few weeks, few months, 1 year, some issues somewhere, government, like a developer, how is marketing? With so much of competition is marketing. Government should market. Go to the doorstep of that investor. I am here to help you. 24 hours I will give you your permissions. Because these are all paperwork. The government is not investing money. Instead of one person, you keep 10%, 20% and see that these, what you call escort officers, some designation you give, marketing from government side. Go to the investor, sit with him, what are the issues, resolve it. See, you are paying interest for the 6 or 7 lakhs crores, you are paying interest. So why don't you, the opportunities are there in the market, you know, those are willing to pay. Suppose the registration charges, I purchase a flat from you, I register at the end of the project. If I get some incentive, if at the early stage, if I register, you give me incentive. Sometimes your property tax areas, whoever is going to pay between this time, your interest is exempted or something is rebate is given. Similarly, if you want to raise money, which is going to come in future after 2 years, 3 years, if incentive is given by way of percentage, suppose 6 and 7.5% registration charges, my project will take 3.5, 4 years to complete. If somebody purchaser willing to pay 100% and register, you give 3%,
Yeah,
something, you know,
you
rebate.
make it more.
See, these are the instruments you have to play.
You have to make it more appealing to, close. I think this has been a very interesting conversation, and from people who have been a very big part in how the city has grown. So it cannot come. Yeah. We can do this, certainly, we can do this in Times of India and frequently. And I think the more genuine and the more out-of-the-box solutions we can find, we know what the problems are. We will be able to keep Hyderabad as the city of choice and not make the mistakes the Bangalores and the Gurgaons of the world have made. So it has been a phenomenal panel conversation with all of you. And there is, a happiness that we feel that we have such wise people in the industry, sort of helping and putting out things which the government can pay attention to. Because sometimes governments have 20,000 things to pay attention to and they just miss a few important things for which we have to pay a very high price later on. Thank you so much. Thank you all.